Oh yeah.
Yes,
Hello?
I am in. Yep, I can hear you because you're coming through the TV. So I'll put my headset in.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Excellent. Okay, I'll knock you off here now then. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Something to my Twitch. Hang on. Oh. No, it's okay. It's actually fine. It's okay. So welcome to my broadcast. It's just gone 6 minutes past 11 or 23:06 GMT on Friday, the 8th of September 2022. The Italian Grand Prix is on this weekend, and I'm going to. We've had the F2 qualifying, which I'm going to do, and we've had the F1 FP practice 1 and 2. So it's positions 2 and 4 on both of those races. So we'll start with F2. Okay. So what we do is get a solo, and we're going to go to Grand Prix. Going to select F2 2021. We're going to do the Italian Grand Prix, Monza. Okay. And now we'll look around the teams, and I'll tell you a little bit about the F2 drivers. And we'll go through the teams. We're looking for 2 drivers, the position 2 and 4 in qualifying, and it was Lawson, the New Zealander, and Drugovich, who is probably going to win the title. He's about 60 points ahead, I think, of Pochere, the Frenchman. We'll go through the teams anyway. Some of these don't exist. We'll go through Premier first. So Schwartzman is a Russian, so I'm not sure if he started the season, but because of the Russian-Ukraine war, he wasn't able to be selected. Oscar Piastri has moved to McLaren. That's been the big news recently from Alpine. He's definitely going to drive alongside Lando Norris next season. Virtuosi, Guanyu or Zhou, he is the first ever Chinese Grand Prix driver. He's driving in the Grand Prix this year, so he's not an F2 driver. And there's Drugovich, we'll do him later. He's the Brazilian who's currently leading the standings. Dan Tixum is, or was in a Formula E season, that's finished now, Formula E. And his partner De Ruvela is in F2. Liam Lawson is definitely in F2, and so is his teammate Yuri Vips, the Estonian. Christian Lundgaard is actually in IndyCar. IndyCar has its final race on Sunday. There's Tio or Theo Pochere, who's second in the standings. For sure, the Dutchman and Zendalia. I'm not sure if Zendalia's in this year. Enzo Fittipaldi and Guilherme Samaya is definitely not in F2. Enzo Fittipaldi is the great grandson of Emerson Fittipaldi, the double world champion in 1972 and 1974. He has a brother called Pietro, who has driven for Haas in F1 occasionally. He's actually this year the teammate for Drugovich. This is a F1. This is a modern game, but doesn't reflect that change. Moving on, Roy Nissany, who was actually replaced today in the race because he had some penalties for poor driving, I guess you call it. Marcus Armstrong, he's definitely in F2. He's the New Zealander. David Beckman and Boschong, these are both drivers in F2 this year. Jet Aitken, he is not in F2 anymore. He was in the thing called Breaking Point quite a few editions ago on F1, and he has driven in F1, I think. Not sure where he is at the moment. DeLeda is definitely not in F2 this year, I mean. Viscal, don't think he's in F2 at the moment, but Sato, the Japanese guy, is. So we'll just have to go back again, and we're looking for Lawson. Now, where was Lawson? We'll have to try and find him now. Have to do it quicker. No, not that. Campos, no. Must be MP. No. It's not in there. High Tech. High Tech, there you go. So there's Liam Lawson. As I say, he finished second in the F2 qualifying today. Let's have a look at our settings. It's AI hard 60 difficulty, and it's assisted race starts. Rules and flags, it's corner cut and stringency, strict as it is in real life. Pit stop experience is broadcast, where it's looked after you automatically. But there is one called immersive, which I haven't played with, but might do in the future. I'm not going to tinker with the weather and time of day. The Monza Grand Prix in Italy tends to be dry. Weekend structure, there's no practice, there's no qualifying, and you have the sprint and feature, or 2 sprints and feature, or you can just do the feature race length only. I'm going to do a feature race only, and it's going to be a short session length. It's just going to be 5 laps. Assists, I have a wireless controller on a PS4, not a steering wheel, so it's medium brake assist, medium traction control, automatic gearbox, pit assist on, pit release assist on, EIS assist on, and DRS assist on. Start the event. I have no idea where I'm going to be on. It's be a randomised grid, so I couldn't tell you where I'm going to end up.
Hello and welcome back to a classic circuit, familiar to fans the world over. This is Monza. You can hear the cars ready to go. Certainly the fans are ready for some...
And
well then,
also,
wait
till the grid is
let's take a look at how the cars line up. Jehan Daruvala lines up on pole position, and it's Roy Nissany in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ticktum, Lundgaard, Marcus Armstrong, and Pourchaire, Schwartzman, Fittipaldi, Boschon, Guan Yu Zhou, Drugovic, DeLeda, Richard Verschoor, and Piastri, Beckman, Samaya, Sato, and Ben Viscal, Zendelli, Lawson, Aitken, and Yuri Vips starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's get down to the track. Turn 1 at Monza is famous, or should I say...
So the Monza Grand Prix celebrated its 100th running. It started in 1922. I found that out today. I was watching the practice. Just a little stat for you there. I'm going to be right at the back. Okay. Only good thing is that I'm on the right hand side, and that will be my preferred position. The reason for that is that things can open up quite significantly on that right hand side. Not this time though. Someone's come off already by the looks of it. No? Okay, not a yellow flag. Now, if you've never driven F2, there are a few reasons why you might want to do on these games. First thing is, you may never have heard of any of the drivers' names. Secondly, you may have no idea who the teams are. Thirdly, it's one chassis that doesn't get upgradable, unlike the F1 cars. So it means it's closer racing. You can get out into DRS territory more regularly than you can F1. And the fourth reason is the sprint feature scenario. Basically what happens is, after qualifying, okay, so it appears that we haven't got much to play for. So try and improve your familiarity on the track, Set better sectors and better lap times. It's essentially quite a straightforward track, really. High speed, not a lot of twists and turns. Classed as very easy, I think, as a category. think probably the hardest part is this long straight from the start of the race. Run up to Parabolica here. Oop, this one there.
Okay, this is your final lap of the race.
So yeah, you might be surprised. You get this up to 188, and there's. Whoa. Need to brake heavily though. The only positive there is that I've actually completed another 5 laps at Monza. The only positive there is that I've actually completed another 5 laps at Monza.
Carlin have pulled off a and there you have it.
If you want to bypass the celebration, just simply press your X button and that will bypass that.
And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver?
Let's have a look at the lap times.
After all this drama, you'd be mad not to
136.110. The is the slowest, but only like a second behind. Okay, now we're going to do Drogovic, the Brazilian, who's currently leading the championship quite well. So I'm suspecting on a randomised grid he'll be quite a way up. So same thing, Grand Prix. F2 2021. So same thing, Grand Prix. F2 2021. So same thing, Grand Prix. And Drugovic is at, he isn't now, but he's at, was at UN Virtuosi. Okay, go back through the settings again. So AI hard 60. Assisted race starts. Walls and flags. Corner cut and stringency strict. As it is in real life. New setting unique to the F1 2022 game. And that's broadcast on the pit stop experience. That does it automatically for you. If you select immersive, then you have to know what you're doing. But I'm going to be on broadcast. I'm not going to tinker with the weather and time of day. Monza tends to be a dry Grand Prix, generally. Weekend structure. There's no practice, there's no qualifying. And it's a feature-only race. Short session length of 5 laps. I have a wireless controller, not a steering wheel. Medium brake assist, medium traction control. Automatic gearbox. And all the others are on settings. Start the event. Let's see how high up the grid we are going to be.
Welcome everybody to the heart of it. So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's results with a look at the starting grid. Teo Pourchaire has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and it's Daniel Ticktum in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Deruvula, Drugovic, Christian Lundgaard, and this.
Okay.
Turn 1 at Monza is famous, or should I?
Right hand side, that's nice. Is it going to open up for me? Go to left hand side instead. So ahead of me is Christian Lundgaard, who's actually an IndyCar driver. He will be at the last IndyCar event on Sunday at Laguna Seca. So here's Fittipaldi, is actually my teammate at the moment. Oh. Ah. Oh.
Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals.
So tried to overtake him there. Got a bit out. Got thumped on the side and back. Okay, so there were lots of different symbols on there. But simply press the circle button. And then you have the options to restart or retire from session, which I will do. We'll have some more F2 over the weekend, so.
Brilliant stuff from Carlin today. see. It's time. Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Liam Lawson. One of the best things about Formula 2 is watching these young drivers grow and mature, and it feels like his career took a big step forward today.
Okay, we're going to go on to F1 now. Right, so the fourth position in practice 2 was Lando Norris of McLaren. So we select that. Now this this last season's race was won by Ricciardo. And Norris was second. No one knows the future of Daniel Ricciardo. But I saw the press conference today with Hamilton and others, and Ricciardo. And the funniest thing is that Norris had some sort of tattoo on Ricciardo's neck. And there was talk about Ricciardo being a third driver for Mercedes. And when Hamilton was asked how he'd feel, he said he felt that Ricciardo should not have to have it should have an actual drive, not a third driver reserve role. So no one knows where he's going to go. If Schumacher doesn't deliver at the end of the season, maybe he'll go and Ricciardo will go there. I'll update you when I know more myself. Okay, so we're just going to get straight on with it.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Sergio Perez and Leclerc, Tsunoda, Ocon, Bottas and Lando Norris, Ricciardo,
Okay, so I'm 10th. And again, right hand side. touched him. Oh my word.
Well, what happened?
Crumbs.
Okay.
Did someone go in the back of me? I felt like I was driving fairly okay there. Well, that didn't last long. Same thing, we're going to retire from the session.
They made great use of the clear air today. The drivers are en route to the... Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Often my go-to would be a driver who...
Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Often my go-to would be a driver who...
Verstappen was second in practice today, that was practice 2. Verstappen was second in practice today, that was practice 2. We're just going to get on with the event.
So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Perez, Max Verstappen, and Russell.
Okay, so left-hand side this time. I might have got done there, but I didn't. So let's see if we can complete this race.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
On that gravel. final bit, which is Parabolica. So the battle really now is to stay ahead of Alonso. Gasly on Alonso. Falling behind Russell. Nope. Oh dear, never had to do that before, made a complete cock up of it.
Underbody's incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious at the moment. Just be careful.
So this is about, we'll do about 4 or 5 here. Use the DRS around after Parabolica. Which side do I take? Left hand or right hand side? I'm going to take the right hand side. So Hamilton is at the back of the grid because of penalty, engine penalties, etc. Verstappen's got 5 place penalty, I think. just a bit too overdid that a little bit too much.
Up there, mate.
Here we are then, a thoroughly deserved win. Here come today's winners. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I think it has to be Fernando Alonso. He got the strategy spot on and consistently had the pace to come through as well.
Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
128.171. Slowest lap of all. Okay, so that's the end of this broadcast. Thank you for watching, viewing and following. So that's the end of this broadcast. Thank you for watching, viewing and following. Back in the morning, could be doing live commentary of the F3. Back in the morning, could be doing live commentary of the F3. Be driving on Project Cars 2. Be driving on Project Cars 2 to demonstrate the IndyCar race this weekend at Laguna Seca. Thanks for watching. Catch you again. Bye bye.